So we know that after meeting this morning with Guy, that we've got to one of the things to help him out is to drive more traffic. His conversion rate's doing really well. The site's doing generally well in all purposes of what he wants, but obviously that was a good educational piece on for him on how to make pages to design to get more traffic from other areas. I think what we need to do to help him out a bit more to make him realise he's got to try and build up his backlinks, which is going to be a campaign for him to do in one instance, but to get more traffic through like social media avenue, so on the social media accounts that he's got, to push them a bit more, and then also to start looking at paid ads, so maybe not just keywords but also looking at ads on social media sites, and just getting people more traffic to a site, relevant traffic to a site that will hopefully keep converting highly like it already is. Is it recording? Yeah, it is. There we go.
There's a flashing button.
It does recording, I can show. Right, so yeah, so we've got social media set up. Everything we got there is fine. Other ones you might want to look into, things like Musical.ly and things like that. Just somewhere where can we grab people's attention? Can we interact with people, give them something, and then in return, hopefully they'll come and use some of our forums, some of our our online social forums, or come to our site and buy our products. So we've got obviously that's the setup of them, and that includes assets for the social media sites.
Yeah.
So that's obviously the banners and everything like that. We might want to make some other imagery to launch with as well. So that could be things like, for instance, the Game of Thrones event just happened. So we could, if we did launch it around that, we could do something around that. So it's just a case of, this is when we do launch it. Well, once we put a date in the diary of this is the day we're going live with it, then we'll see what else is planned up around it and what we can do. How are we going to be driving more traffic? How are we going to the site? How are we going to be doing more, just generally more to grow as a company? But I kept it slightly differently to the social media stuff because it can be added on top of that layer.
Yeah.
So rather than adding your social media into your marketing, because it's a part of it anyway, but just to separate it for the moment, because that can be through like Google AdWords, Facebook ads, and email marketing and things like that as well. And do some AdWord analysis, including because this is going to go towards some of the SEO stuff that we'll be putting onto the site for the keyword and stuff. So obviously the AdWord analysis and keyword analysis go together hand in hand. The reason with the AdWords will be slightly different to the keywords, because the AdWords one will be looking at what has a fairly high traffic rate on an AdWord but low engagement in terms of people buying it. So we can try and muscle in on areas that other people aren't, because there's always going to be people paying for the obvious ones. Yeah, do you know what I mean? But we want to be paying for like some of the extra ones. So in case of what we'll be looking at is, because it's a board game site, we know for a fact that a lot of companies are going to be bidding on that word, board games.
Yeah.
So it's going to drive that price for that word up. So we want to be searching for ones that aren't too high and aren't too costly, but also drive traffic to a decent traffic. Oh, Charlie. Right there. So, from looking at Facebook then, in terms of growing the group size that we've got, and growing the business page up, it's going to be quite difficult, because obviously we want to use Facebook as well as giving out information, obviously, and everything else, but use it more as like a nurturing platform. But what we're saying there is just with the fact that they've changed a lot of the algorithms and the way that it works, The only real way to get in front of the people we want to get in front of is to buy ads.
Yeah.
But the issue with that is you're literally, although it's not a bad thing to be buying into get in front of those people, we need to make it worthwhile, that the money you spend comes back, that ROI has got to be worthwhile. If we're going to spend a few £100 on getting in front of these people, we've got to make more than a few £100 back.
Yes.
So, the issues we've come up with so far, we can see, getting in front of the correct people, the correct users, so business owners, marketers, and all that sort. Everyone who has a voice in the business and values what we do for what they want. Yeah, and getting content shared to those users. Yeah, and that comes with an issue, because obviously with every business, when you start off, the obvious issues is friends and families are the first ones to like your page, which I think is a bit of an issue at the moment, because I don't think that they're not the correct people anyway. A lot of them.
No, and they won't have the context that we're trying to get our content.
Well, they might know the people. We don't know who they know, but the issue is that they've liked the page to help us out, but then they're not helping sharing the content. And that may be because we're not asking them to share content, or that part of it is down to us. Yeah. So from what we know already is we need to ask on certain posts, not all of them, because obviously when we're giving out like the memes that those dank memes, we don't want to. We're not. They're not there to really get shared. They're just there for entertainment purposes. We found them funny, so we post them. But when we're giving out like information, if we can ask people to share it, that kind of makes more sense to ask to share, because it's information that someone might want and need, that they know.
Yeah, as long as we do it sort of sparingly.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to spam it, but at the same time, we can't have it so it drops under the radar. So the issue we've got, a lot of Facebook business growth is going to come through buying of ads. Your reach is going to come through being bought, or the other avenue is going through shared content, and that comes with its own quirks, because obviously that means then we'll have to plan a lot more of that content out, which then takes away from other aspects of what we do. Or is there a way that we can turn that into some sort of monetization and to help fill itself and help fill that gap?
Yeah.
So it's a difficult game to play with growing Facebook. It's just not as easy as it seems. It's not. I think the first thing we can do as like I said, an implementation is to do the asking for more shares in that content. As you said, we need to get into. You mentioned to me today that we need to get into more groups as Kraken.
Yeah.
And comment on and get involved in conversations. Yeah. Start letting people understand that we do know what we're doing as Kraken in those groups. I definitely think that's something to look into, because we can assign time to that. I can turn around and say, right, Gord, on these days a week you're doing it, these days a week I'm doing it, and then we'll try and get the other guys involved as well to help fill out that. And just help get involved in people's conversations, giving advice out, helping people out, and then hopefully funneling those people then back to us to then come and hopefully one day work with us, or if not, we're just helping them out, and that will give, hopefully when someone else needs help, they'll say, I've got some people I know who can help you. So that will help with the word of mouth stuff as well. So yeah. So our Facebook growth, we're not expecting to skyrocket.
No, it's increasingly harder, isn't it?
Exactly.
Organically growing.
I've been talking about for a long time that you should never be over invest in a platform, and Facebook is starting to make it that if you over invest in it, it's coming up to a time now over the next few months you're going to start being. It's going to start coming unglued a little bit. Your business practices are all going to have to be paid for. Which is not a bad thing, they've set up a free area for a long time that you had to pay for, and it's their platform. But this is why I definitely think having a website.
Yeah, that's what I've been reading. So Facebook owns Facebook, and obviously they want money from it.
Exactly.
So they're going to make it harder for you to grow organically.
Yeah.
And so the only easy way to sort of do that is if you've got it on other platforms and then link it back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So because there's another thing that we totally like you mentioned earlier on, that you were like, Matt, we need to sit down and look at sharing our platforms between each other. So on we've got people we know on Twitter that don't follow us on Facebook, and it might be that we can, again, with that nurturing thing, we want to make sure we nurture them. So having us on all different platforms is probably the correct way of doing it.
Because I mean, our content that we put out, awesome memes.
Yeah.
And good quality sort of advice and blogs.
Yeah.
It's useful. It's just we can't get it in front of the people.
Yeah.
We want
to. So we need to start looking at. I mean, we need to do some. We definitely need to do some sort of paid advertisement with Facebook to try and get to get the ball rolling. But we definitely need to look at other ways to get people we can nurture without paying. And I think that obviously with Facebook making it more difficult, there's other ways to do it. So I think cross-sharing from platforms, coming up with how-to vids to help people out do smaller things, and then if they need more help, get in contact with us. And going from that way is definitely a way forward. But like I said, the how-to vids that we've mentioned, that's a whole different kettle. That's going to take a lot more planning and a lot more time and thought process going into it. Okay, yeah, that's decent. At least we got somewhere to start from.
Yeah, and say a lot of it is still talking about content and how you've got to keep it evergreen and fresh and stuff, which is great, but I still understand how that's going to quite get to.
Yeah, you making content doesn't equal growth.
No.
You making content and getting it in front of people equals growth, because you've got to have the right people to share it.
Yeah, I think it's because even with the algorithm, even if they do like your page, if the content isn't that good, it's still not likely to come up on the people who like it on their news feeds.
Yeah.
So you still need to have good content so it comes up on the people that already like us and follow us.
Yeah. But anyway, that's a quick message to everyone. Make sure you don't overinvest on a single platform, yeah? You're going to see a lot of Facebook things. It's not a bad thing. You've got to remember it's their platform and they've done a great job of giving you a place to have a voice for free. But you're going to see that it's going to get harder and harder to get your business out there on Facebook without paying for it, which is not a bad thing, because they're very good at targeting people. But depending on what sort of service you're in and what sort of job you do, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult. So it's going to become a lot more creative thinking. So watch your space. Soon as we got a bit more planning involved here, a bit more going on, we'll release some more videos for you guys.